Namaskar, Ganapathy ji, and thank you very much
Namaskar,
for
Ushaji.
thank you for coming to this meeting chat with me, just so that we understand a little bit about who you are, what you do, and what karma yoga means to you, and how you fulfill your karma yoga. So could you start with introducing yourself, where you grew up, the environment, your family, your education?
Yeah, in India, I was born in the north, in Nagpur, and then when my father was working there, and then he retired when I was few years, like 5 or 6 years old, and then he came to South, and in southern India is where I grew up mostly. My high school and college. High school was in a place called Salem, and college was in Chennai, at the time Madras. So I finished my college and then came over to this country. After I was working after college for 4 years or so in India, and then I moved over to this country in 1977. So actually, I moved to England for a year, and then I moved over to the United States to do my graduate school at Northwestern University for my PhD in material science. So since then, I've been in this country, and then I was in Midwest for 18, 20 years or so. Then I've been in California since 1997. So it's been 25 years in the Bay Area. In Fremont is where I live.
So a little bit about your family and your, what influenced you towards karma yoga.
Yeah, I have my wife and two children, two adult children. One of my children is in Texas. The other one is in San Francisco. So they're on their own basically. And so my wife and I live in our house. And I've been an engineer working in semiconductor industry until 2017, 5 years ago, and then I retired. So in the last 5 years, I'm out of engineering profession, and I'm doing some insurance business in doing Medicare insurance and some other long-term care insurance and all that stuff with seniors and so on. In addition to that, I'm also learning Sanskrit, enrolled in a master's program for that as well, and some community service as well. So those are the three main things that I do now.
Yeah, I know. I know your Sanskrit takes up quite a bit of your time, but can you tell us a little bit more about your community service? What got you into it? What your interests are? What you get out of it? What you try to give to it?
Yeah, the community service has been sort of in the background or in the back of your head all the time. What I can do that's meaningful and rewarding for several years, even before my retirement. And the when I saw the HCI in 2018 announcing that they're going to start something like Hindu Community Institute, so I was quick to call up Kailash ji and tell him that I'm interested in joining and exploring. So that was a quick decision, and I joined right then. I was the first batch student there, and also on top of that, it goes back a little further than that. Meaning, my father has been in this sort of I don't know, activity, or he has been a handyman in when it comes to dealing with people's short cuts, and he was quick to go take care of some things when things happen, somebody gets hurt. I'm talking about the days when going to hospital is not necessarily an option. You just do something quickly to take care of things. So that's kind of in the blood, I guess, from father's side. And also when he 2 years before he passed away, he was in the hospital and all that. I was with him and wanting to be part of, to see what they do to him, in the hospital setting, in surgery or whatever it was. And then I did get to visit or witness a surgery in India. This was in Bangalore. Though the doctor wouldn't allow me to see my father's surgery, but he did allow me to see somebody else's surgery. So there is some in the background that I felt that this is something that I could do, and HCI, when it started, when I heard about it, I thought there is an opportunity to learn something and utilize it in what I might be interested in doing going forward. So that's how it all.
What you learned at HCI, and how does it play into what you do at the community hospital when you go there, and what's your experience there?
Yeah, HCI course was phenomenally helpful in the sense of having your own understanding of you do a lot of things on the go, and then it's always good to have some underpinning behind, you know that, oh, this is what though many of the things that you learn there are some things that are not totally unfamiliar, but it kind of affirms what you know and gives you that extra confidence in knowing, oh, okay, this is what I've been doing. So it's okay, it's pretty good. It's not, we all feel that, I may not know something, but your experience teaches you so many things that you don't usually give credit yourself for. And then you find a place and time, and in the process you learn that, oh, okay, so you are pretty good there. You just, you need to fine tune a little bit and round up the edges a little bit and so on. Those are the things you learn. And especially the course was helpful with different people coming in with different walks of life, different experiences, and different complications in their life. So you learn a lot from that. And then you have so much to give as well. So that was the best experience for me in terms of a live communication, which of course we don't have right now in the post-COVID world, and the technology that we are embracing now. Right or wrong, it's not allowing us the the immediacy of being there in person. So that's a little bit unfortunate. Hopefully that will turn around. But then once we have people or scholars or coming from different parts of the world, there's no way you can have that as a personal or a face-to-face communication type of meeting. So that's unfortunate. But I think we still have these discussions going on through the screen, and hopefully that helps all of us, in learning, especially now that we have a global scholar base, that we learn a lot more from country to country and worldwide, how people think, what people do in different situations. So those are all extremely valuable.
Also, how does like your interaction with the patients, and how does that impact you? What variety do you see? Can you share some of that?
It's been generally very. It's like most of the time, I would say, or 80% of the time, I would say, is it's like going and seeing somebody new, talking to a friend, and it's fun. So you learn something, you say hi, and they say hi, and they want to know something about you, and you learn something from them. And that is mostly the case. So it's not everything is doom and gloom or anything. I mean, though they are in a situation where they have some difficulty at the time that you meet them, and which you do come across at 20% level or something. But most of the time they are looking for somebody to, say hi, and they don't want to talk about their misery also most of the time. This is how it is, how we are all, and then you don't need to bribe them into saying that, that's not our job to say that, what difficult situation are you going through. That's not what we are there for. So it's both ways. It works that they say, oh, it's good to see you, and then it's like a normal conversation that you engage with a friend or even a stranger for that matter. Like you see somebody on the train, you don't, you just talk a lot of stuff, and they talk about their background, their children and all that. And you talk about, with their, when they ask you questions, it's not that you go there and explain what you're doing or anything. It's just that based on what they ask you, you do answer. And so you try to come across, it's not that you try to is a word I don't like, but you come across as a genuine, normal human being. That's all it is. There's nothing more. You are not putting on anything. You are not, and you need to be factual. Also, they do ask you some questions that are uncomfortable or that may, affect them in some way. But then once they ask the question, you want to be truthful about it. So you just carry a normal conversation, professional conversation. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And
they get somebody to come and visit them.
That's
and,
right.
That hour passes for them.
Yeah. And then there are on the 20% of the case, there are other questions like, I haven't seen a nurse in 20 minutes. Can you call some nurse or something? They want to know, because you're coming into the hospital, they ask you.
Yeah.
They also ask you, are you a doctor? I say, no, I'm not a doctor, but I'm just a friend, or I'm just a fellow that can just talk with you for a few minutes. If you have any general questions, I can answer. Which often happen. Often this is one of the general questions they ask you. I haven't had my this or that. Can you call the nurse? Which you do anyway. Those are all simple things. But sometimes you do come across cases where it's much more complicated in the sense, the patient may not be able to be in a position to talk to you at all. So you end up talking to the family sometimes. So they are worried what might happen. So those things are also there. So majority of the time you are being there as a sort of a strength and stability. You don't want to make matters any worse, and you don't want, you want to be generally truthful as well. So it's not that you're hiding anything, or you are making everything look so good or anything either. So it's just a normal conversation. That's basically what it is. And then you end up learning so much from them, basically.
Yes.
Their experiences, their walks, complicated life they may have had or experienced. There's so many things that they talk about, and that's fascinating.
Yeah, the viewpoint also, and you say,
Yeah.
oh, wow, I never thought about it in that perspective kind of thing,
Yeah.
Makes it, yeah. Thank you so much, Ganapathy ji. Anything else you want to add? And then I can wrap up with you. I appreciate the time you're.
I think I would be happy to, if anybody is interested in going into the line of service that I'm doing, community service that I'm doing, I'll be very happy to talk to anybody in person or have them give me a call or something. I'll be very happy to do that. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah, okay, thank you. Because that's such an awesome offer. Scholars, this is Dr. Ganapathy ji also happens to be the registrar of the CHT course. So you should take him up on this offer. Anytime you have questions, he's always very, very approachable. Thank you again, Ganapathy ji.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Ujaji. Yeah, bye now.